is Natch's Kitchen, where we cook up anything that I dream of, and I challenge myself with challenging, difficult recipes, so you don't have to. This is actually kind of tripping me out. Ready, set, go. Hey Bubbles, I missed you all so much. Today we are doing a KFC video. Yes, I've already done this before, homemade KFC. But we're actually going to be frying chicken homemade in a pot like everyone fries chicken. I know KFC is done in a pressure cooker. By the way, I was gone for a week because we were literally in sweltering heat. We're about to go into another heat wave pretty soon here. We're going to be doing Glenn and Friends recipe. So he has connections to people in KFC. He's done ad campaigns. I recommend watching his full series. I'll link his channel down below with the inspiration. Now I don't have all the spices. They're kind of hard to find. There are a couple spices that were really hard to find. But it's all about that batter, that addictive sort of peppery batter that we love about KFC. By the way, this is a modern recreation. This is not going to be old style recipe, which had a lot more nuances that aren't available to this day. So we're going to show you the procedure on frying chicken and everything. And if you love cooking, hit subscribe down below, hit that bell icon so you're notified for every time I post a video. So we're going to get right into the kitchen. I'm going to let my chicken get up to room temperature a little bit. So we're going to start off with the spice mix. Now, so we're going to start off with 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of fine sea salt. I'm using the Windsor variety. That's going into 2 cups of pre-sifted Rogers unbleached flour. That goes in there. Then we're going to use coarsely ground dollar store garden fresh pepper, and that is 2 teaspoons, excuse me, that goes in there. Quite a lot. 2 teaspoons of finely ground pepper as well. Goes in there. Next we're going to use half a teaspoon of freshly cracked pepper. This is President's Choice. Love this. Goes in there. I couldn't find this somewhere savory. White pepper. Love using white pepper, especially in Asian dishes. So much MSG naturally built into it. Slow build spice, but it just adds so much flavor. So that's about half a teaspoon in there. And I'm using Brahmin's. I got this from an Indian spice shop. This is a ground coriander seed. I bet this is going to become useful once I start getting into curries and stuff like that. So that's about half a teaspoon in there. It honestly smells like a curry. At least one of the spices that go into curry. Really want to get into that. Now, the controversial spice, I'll let myself talk about it. Okay, monosodium glutamate. This is 60% less salt than salt. 60%. And it is completely safe. It is readily available in potatoes, rice, soy sauce, fish sauce, so many other things, and it's naturally derived flavor enhancer. So I feel like it's better than salt. I actually put it in everything and it makes it a lot better. So I'm using Accent, which is like the main MSG component that I could find. It's only like $4 for this. I'm probably gonna run out by the end of the week. I'm just trying to kind of test it too, because I don't believe it. This is from a study from 1968. Can we just grow up and look at the facts and because it has like a chemical name, it's still naturally derived. The way that it works, it enhances, it activates those flavor receptors to be more open to receive savory flavors. So if you put MSG in a dessert, it will not activate the same receptors just because it's not readily available in those foods. So 1 tablespoon goes in there. I'm using the Accent. For ground sage, this is the primary ingredient in poultry seasoning. Half a teaspoon goes in there. Now the recipe said rubbed sage. I'm not sure. I couldn't find it at the stores that I went to, but ground thyme will definitely suffice for that. Half a teaspoon, and that's the mix. So look at this. This is the famous kit. Mind you, not the right ratios, but it's like confirmed that most of these trace spices are in there. Of course, again, legally wise, I can't say that they are. I'm very excited now. My oil is ready to go. So I use 3/4 of 3 liters. Let me do the math up there. Can't do it right now. Let's get into it. I'm gonna reset the stage and we're gonna get right into battering. Alright, the stage is set and this is the most exciting part, the breading. It's making me feel like I'm at KFC again. I let my chicken rest for at least an hour and a half. No more than 2 hours. Let's be food safe here, okay? There's FDA standard for a reason. We're not going to do a double coat, I don't think. I'm going to do 3 pieces at a time. That's what I saw most recipes do. They specifically said at KFC, don't let it sit in the batter for too long. You don't want to build up that salmonella kind of interaction with the eggs. It becomes a food safety issue. So what you do, especially at KFC, you have to pull like the skin like this, all taut and nice and so satisfying. But anyway, so we're going to go with egg first. So I have 3 cracked eggs in here. Make sure you get it all nice and coated. Like that. You want to get the excess off. Mine, you should have a wet and dry hand, but I'm going to only do 3 pieces at one time. And drop it in there. Cover the initial side first. Like this. I like to just like coat each side in one light layer and then press that layer in. That's what I've been doing recently with my chicken. So we're going to do 3 pieces to start with. Egg. Let the excess drain off, kind of let it all drip off. And put it in there. Coat. And then flip it. And then I like to take it out. I don't want a thick coating. I feel like that's kind of a signature, unless you want like an extra crispy batter. I feel like it's just one little thin layer, and that's what KFC is known for, that really thin, crispy layer. And this is actually like a really good flour to use. Again, it's the Rogers flour, and I don't know if I'll go back to Robin Hood flour, but maybe. But it's already pre-sifted, ready to go, unbleached. It was sold to me. It is so similar. There's something a little off about it. Could be the spices that I'm missing, but let's go to the fire. This is the money shot. Hey, it's so finger licking good. We're gonna do an initial temperature test. This is going to be my best friend in terms of cooking. From now on, I'm not going to do it without, everyone needs this, especially digital. It's going to be that much more accurate. And it should be around 375. I wanted it a bit higher. All the recipes say, oh, preheat to 350. I know what that meant, and then I'm like, wait, I need it from Albert to know what that means. Anyways, so it is 375. So when the chicken goes in, it's going to drop down 15 degrees. And then I'm going to drop the temperature down to 5 degrees. Yeah, 375, 366, that's good. So it gives me 16 degrees worth of room to really play around with. You can drop 16 degrees and nothing works too much. Then I'll drop it down to 5, and now we'll continue that consistent temperature in theory. Okay, so let's drop it in there. Always away from you. Perfect. Just like that. Okay, that was towards me. Don't do that. Be gentle. Like that. Drop it in. This is the money shot. Like, oh my gosh. It smells glorious in here. And it actually smells very similar. So let's drop it down to 5. So you want it to be hotter. My theory is that we want it to be hotter when it goes in. There's so many recipes around there. It just made it so confusing because, anyway. But that was the average of what I was getting from most recipes. But 14, 18, this is looking pretty good. You don't want it over 350. And you want to set the timer for 14 minutes. It's generally the average of the recipes that I've seen. That's set. 340. That's not good. We want that up there a little bit. Maybe 2 pieces might be maximum. We're learning here, okay? Okay, it's climbing. That's a good sign. Perfect. 86, it dropped again. See, that's the problem when it comes to frying. Okay, went up again, down. Okay, we want 350, so I'm thinking high temperature. Because the chicken's always gonna be absorbing energy constantly, right? So I'm gonna raise it to, oh, by the way, it was initially at 9 when I put it in. So I've got 7.2. I don't know why it keeps dropping. This is so bizarre. But I'll be right back. We'll get it to 350. We'll come back in 13 minutes as well. And we'll discover it together. Generally, it's about Glenn and Friends final The End batter. I worked at a KFC for 2 years, so this is actually like kind of tripping me out that it smells almost exactly when you pull it out, maybe a little stepped down. When it was initially frying, you get that initial sort of flavor when it's frying, and not a lot of people, well, I guess a lot of people that live around a KFC smells it. But it's just so trippy to smell that at home. And this is the final taste test. And my point was that it just brings back that smell when you initially pull it out of the fryer and let it sit there for a little bit. Because they're two different smells. And it smells like 80% there. Rather, you know, my old recipe. Go look at that video. That was another copycat recipe that got pretty close as well. But this is the moment of truth. This maybe been sitting here for 10 minutes or so. And I like to take the skin off my chicken. I don't know about anybody else. I'm so weird like that. But I'm just gonna bite into it just like everyone else does. So this is like the crispiest, largest one. So I didn't eat supper yet. I don't think I ate today. Don't do that. All right, ready, set, go. Oh my, I'm gonna cry. Like I've been kind of emotional today. Wow. Little on the dry side. It needs something, but it's 80% there. I can't believe this. I'm kind of in shock and I'm getting chills right now. Can't really see that right now, but a little bit of goosebumps. One more test. That's it. If I had the extra 2 spices, I knew it wouldn't make that much of a nuance. I think that's what it's missing. But it's 80% there, and I have 83.3% of the spices. You get that peppery bite, that herbaceous kind of warmth, undertoning everything. But you get that tanginess that just lingers and makes you want more of it, right? And that crispiness of the flour, the thickness is just right. So if you follow my procedure, you're gonna have the most delicious chicken that I like. I'm at a loss for words. It's the most delicious chicken that I've ever tasted in my life. Oh my God. It would actually need a little bit more salted. Nope. It is 80% there. I'm in shock. With the amount of pepper in there, you'd think it'd be really, really spicy, but it's balanced out and brought out, the flavors are brought out and soothed by the orchestra of the spices that are in there. And please let me know if you try this. I feel like that's almost the right balance of spices. I maybe even lowered the thyme a little bit. I think the thyme in there is kind of throwing everything off balance. So I'll probably put that to 1/4 teaspoon, but either way, I can't believe it. Oh, I think this came really, really, really close. And if I try it again with a different recipe, I'll definitely put it down below. But thank you so much for watching. You can do this at home. Oh, by the way, my frying pan only went up to 330 degrees Fahrenheit. So I think a different frying pan is in order, but you can just throw it in the oven for 10 minutes and they're done. That's why it's a little bit on the drier side, which is really, really weird. But like just a tad, maybe 20% dry. But for that, okay. I'm gonna end this video here because I am completely in shock and I can't believe it worked out. I should have known because, you know, he has so much experience with Glenn & Friends, has so much experience with KFC, the company itself. So I want to thank him for releasing this recipe, and I'm going to enjoy my fried chicken and edit this video because what a success, and I'll leave a review down below with when I find the extra spices eventually. And yeah, I love you all so much. Au revoir, my beautiful bubbles.